Pleasant show to get to.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Wow. Yeah, we're quiet down, please. Hey, we got the recorder.
Recorder's on?
Recorder's on. 6 p.m. and it is time to call a meeting to order. First thing would be to adopt our agenda.
I move that we adopt the agenda with the amendment of agenda item 2 sub A, which would be appointment of trustees to the public, appointment to the trustees of public funds.
Second. All in favor of adopting the agenda, adding 2A in there to appoint, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no one? Then we will now go need a motion to go into executive session. Sorry.
I move that we enter executive session pursuant to 1 VSA section 313 sub A sub 3 regarding the appointment of a public officer for purposes of interviewing the applicants for the vacancies on the trustees of public funds.
Motion and a second to enter executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no one.
Ready.
Hey, we're reconvening after that short recess. I want to make a few select board remarks just so the people in attendance know what we got going on tonight. It's a little different. Mr. Hopkins is on vacation this week and out of town, and Bill Moore was going to be here and representing town management. And his daughter's in a school play tonight. It's the last one of her high school before she graduates, and I told him to take the night off and go. So that's why there's no representation from the town. So it's a very short and easy agenda. Steve, I hope you're not looking for a whole lot in the newspaper, because there won't be a lot out of this one, I don't think. And our normal rules, when it's time to speak, come to the podium so that everyone can hear you. And be nice. Oh, and I have to turn my microphone on, I forgot, and I'm not saying that all over again. They got to say the name. Say the mic, say your name when you come to the mic, yes, when you come to the mic, because we also are using a AI minutes. Another announcement will be that this is Charlene's last meeting with us. We are going to miss Charlene, but she is moving into retirement after many years of being here. And that's why we have been experimenting with this AI, because if it worked the way we have seen it to work, we can save a few $1,000s off the budget at the end of the year when we do it. So okay, so now moving on.
Did you say your name?
Pardon?
Did you say your name when you started?
No, I didn't say my name. Doug Bailey. Okay, item 2A, appointment of the trustees of public funds.
I make a motion that the board appoint the following 3 people to serve as trustees of public funds until the town election in March on town meeting day. And the 3 people would be Faith Daya, Devin Fuller, and Tracy Wyman.
Motion in a second, any discussion? None heard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for the 3 people that are,
Well, thank you to all the applicants.
everyone.
Yeah.
For applying and for taking on. And to reiterate, those are short-term appointments. They are good until the next election. And at the election time, well, in December-ish, they will start the form of petitions to become longer members of the trustees of public funds. Moving on, now I'm.
I would just clarify that at that election, there will be a 1-year position, a 2-year position, and a 3-year position being voted on. After which each of those persons at the time their position is up will then run for a 3-year term. So we'll be back to the staggered 3 years as it has always been. So it's just kind of like the way it is when they first started, we're starting all over.
Item 4 is the reoccurring matters. First would be the select board minutes of the May 26th meeting.
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? None heard. All in favor of the minutes, say aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? No one. Secondly would be the warrant.
I move that we pay the warrant of $104,146.30.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on the bills? There's nobody to ask. So
There.
We have them if you need them.
there is one big item in there that Seth does mention in his town report, which is the loan payment for the new truck that we had bought, that we were buying out of 1% options money, but it still shows up on the warrant. So that is on the page here, so you'll see it. So that is a big chunk of what the bill is. So all in favor of approval of the warrant, say aye.
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 Opposed, no one. Town managers report. Steve, do you have it? Did he give you one? Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. Okay, good. Seth usually just says that it's there for anyone to read. I would highlight one item, the staffing item that we have hired a new Brandon police officer, Michaela Fontana. She is a level 2 certified officer, so she's already been through the academy, so we are not paying for her academy training. She's back at the academy this week for one course that she had to do, and she will be on board with us starting next Monday. So that's finally the first movement in that direction, which is really good. Other than that, everything is set. Maybe also in the police field, they did order a cruiser, and it's gonna be coming way into September. So we got a while till that gets here. Everything else is in the report. It will be in the newspaper, or if anyone wants to read it, they can take my copy. Community development report is Mr. Moore's report. His baseball and softball is wrapped up. He thanks all his sponsors. The one item that he was hoping that we would speak about, you want to read that? You want me to read? I don't want to read. Yeah, but
So there's been a lot of discussion on Front Porch Forum recently about the 4th of July celebrations and various options there may be for fireworks. Mr. Moore just wanted to point out that all the decisions about what is being done for this year have already been made, and the vendors have already been paid. So, but he highly recommends that anyone who is interested in working on the 4th of July celebrations or having any sort of input at all into where the money is spent, that they join the volunteer group that organizes it. Because then they actually can have a say in the organizing and in the budgeting and, working with other people who are like-minded. And, and if this continues to be something that people are interested in pursuing or considering, that having new people on the committee would be very helpful in terms of any kind of public outreach that needs to be done about that. But he just wanted to make sure everyone understood that this year's celebrations are already locked in. So nothing can be changed about that.
yes, I would make him read one sentence. He says, exploring such a move as the silent fireworks, drones, and other changes could absolutely be considered and implemented into the future. And Bill is the chair of the Independence Day Committee and his term is up. And
He
has-
is not
he is
interested in
not
continuing.
interested in continuing. He's been doing it a long time. So they will be looking for a lot of volunteers. And I know from reading on page 4 myself, there's been a lot of conversations about silent fireworks, which sounds interesting. So Bill Moore's report. Any questions on? No, good, thank God. Item 7, financial management questionnaire. Financial questionnaire is a form that Sue Gage has to fill out each year. It's an audit type of form. And the board has to just approve it each year. It was included in our packet, so we have seen it.
And I've reviewed it and it's accurate.
Make a
Motion?
motion, we approve the financial questionnaire.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second to approve the financial management questionnaire. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, no one. Item 8, late homestead penalty. When people file for a homestead tax, if it's late, the town can file or have a fee up to 3%. And we have waived it every year. That would be the suggestion again. Because if we don't waive it, they have to, if the person has to then go through abatement board, then the town has to do a separate tax bill because of that, et cetera. And it's easier for our staff and time savings to not charge somebody a fee on that. So would someone like to make a motion on that?
I move that we, as in the past, continue to waive the optional penalty for late homestead filers. I would note before we vote, that the statute specifically requires all homeowners to file the homestead declaration. And, in the past, we've talked about how it's very beneficial to people to file this homestead declaration, how for many people, it alleviates all of their educational taxes and some of their municipal taxes. And many people have not been filing it because they don't file taxes as a general rule. But, you know, rereading the statute today, I realized that this is something that is required. And we waive that penalty, but in the future, you know, the town may not waive that penalty. And so it might be something to be on people's radars that, one, it's a benefit to them to file it. And two, it may actually become a detriment if they don't file it.
And I think, I know some of us were on the Board of Abatement the other day meeting, and clearly the people that came and were asking for their taxes to be abated, none of them had filed for a tax rebate. Couple of them saying because they didn't have income or enough income to be required to pay federal taxes, so they didn't apply. And we educated them, but I'm trying to educate the general public. Maybe you, Steve, you can say something on it, but if somebody doesn't have enough income to have to file a tax return, they can file just a 1040 short form. And then they can file for the rebate and get a very, you know, some people could get almost all of their school tax paid, which is 2/3 of their tax bill, and they would not be in the position that they're in. And as we explained that to people that night, they were all like, really, did not know that and whatever. So as
And
many times as we reach out and try to say that, it doesn't get down to everyone. So I just, you know, you can file a 1040 short form so easily, and then you do have to get someone to help you with the rebate, because I don't know.
And Sue can help people with the homestead declaration. She actually gets the list from the state, because what happens is the state looks at the tax lists and they have, the information about who is a homeowner and whether they filed a homestead declaration, they give that information to Sue. And she has reached out to people and said, this is what you need to do and this is what you can do. And I would also point out that if your income is low enough, not only are your educational taxes taken up by the state, but some of your municipal taxes as well. And so, and I can't remember what the income levels are, but, for some people, that's a huge benefit.
And there's nothing, we never want to have people have to move out of their home or feel pressure that they have to move out of their home. And this is exactly what the state program is for. So I just chucked that out there. So now we have a motion to waive the homestead penalty for Lake Falmouth on the floor. And it's been motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no one. If we have any questions, good. Moving on. Official response to the reappraisal order. The state of Vermont, when your CLA falls out of line with the state as far as what properties are selling for, they turn around and tell us that we must do a new reappraisal. We have been notified by the state last week, it's a letter from June 1st, that the town has to start the process of a reappraisal. So we are here to just say that we have to do it. The appraisal companies are booked out multiple years. So I don't assume that it's going to happen real fast, but we have to send the form back to the state saying that we have started the wheels in motion to get a reappraisal. There are a few different companies that do this. So do I have an action from the board that we agree and tell Seth that he has to start doing this?
Right, so, I move that we, send our response to the state of Vermont Department of Taxes, that we are acknowledging our receipt of the reappraisal order and that we will work towards submitting a reappraisal compliance form within 150 days of the date of the order.
Second. Okay. And to try to make the public always seems to get nervous when they hear the term reappraisal. And my evaluation is going to go up and therefore my taxes are going to go up. And what I would like to put everyone's minds at ease is that if appraisals go up, the grand list goes up. When the grand list goes up, that the actual tax rate goes down. The only thing that really causes your taxes to go up is increases in our budget. But yes, some houses may see a very small increase in taxes if there's one up, and some will see decreases. And the reappraisal is a way to level the playing field again, that a lot of homes appreciate, or a lot of people do a lot of work inside the homes that don't require any permits. Some people build a garage and don't get a permit because they live out in the country, like up near where I live or something, and things happen that don't get seen. Those all get caught in a reappraisal, and it just levels the playing field. So, and that's why the state steps in and tells you have to do one. We also have been putting money aside every single year in the budget process for this. I don't know, because all of our people are on vacation. Sue Gage is in Italy. We couldn't get information on how much money we have in that fund now, but every year we put money into the reappraisal fund. So. And
if anyone is interested in seeing a copy of the state's letter, which is charming and full of acronyms and just longer than it needs to be, it is in the select board packet, which is on the website under the select boards, under the committee. But it's all the COD and the CLA and the PVR and the.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the the request for a reappraisal. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no one. Now, the next item on our agenda is to name someone, being the town manager, as a designee for all reappraisal related matters.
I move, we name Seth Hopkins. Personally.
I second that.
Health teachers be on vacation. All in favor of naming Seth Hopkins on this, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We have gone through most of the business. It is time now for public comment. Public comment. Mr. Bueller.
Yeah, Brent Bueller. I didn't realize till tonight that you were going to do a annual review of the town manager. And I'd like to say, I think Seth does a great job. I think he's responsive to the public. I think he's the most respectful to the select board of any of the town managers I've witnessed since I moved here in 2006. And so that's it. I think he's doing a fabulous job. He's an encyclopedia when it comes to information regarding the town, and he is transparent. So thank you.
Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Very much. Pardon? Yes, then we will go to recess before going into executive session to discuss this, the
does a subcommittee, of a public officer, the town manager annual review.
Second.
motion and a second into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is 8:05. We're coming out of executive session. No action taken.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by, in a second. All in favor of adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no one? Good night.